Mom is in Control, episode 298. Vulnerability, leadership, and feeling energized. Okay, ladies, welcome back to the Mom is in Control podcast. You know who I am. I'm Heather Chauvin. And what do I got to tell you today? Well, if you're new here, welcome. I have a lot of newbies, or we as a community have a lot of newbies coming on listening to the podcast. So take a look around, listen to previous episodes. If this is your first one, welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about vulnerability. I'm going to reflect on a mastermind, and I'll tell you what a mastermind is if you're not familiar, that I just attended in Austin, Texas. And energy leaks, time freedom, and, getting to this place where you emotionally feel strong and full and you feel like the world can throw anything at you and you got this. So in the past few months, I've been talking to a lot of women who in general, are on this path of self-discovery. And if you're listening to this, you're probably on this path as well. And I work with a lot of people who identify themselves as leaders in their lives, whether they have a strong desire to be different, whether they have a strong desire to make an impact, to change the cultural story of how we show up as women and how we show up as mothers. One thing that I'm really digging these days is Brene Brown's new book, Dare To Lead. If you are not familiar with Brene Brown, you need to Google her. You need to watch her YouTube videos on vulnerability, and you need to read every single piece of literature that she's ever written, because she is a fabulous human being who has researched vulnerability, shame, courage, and all of that fun stuff. And so Brene Brown, Brene Brown, and her latest book is called Dare to Lead: Brave Work, Tough Conversations, and Whole Hearts. So you can find that in a bookstore, online, all of that. I wanted to read something to you from page 42. And so here we go. To feel is to be vulnerable. For those of us who were raised with a healthy or unhealthy dose of suck it up and get her done, rambling with vulnerability is a challenge. To feel is to be vulnerable. Believing that vulnerability is weakness is believing that feeling is weakness. And like it or not, we are emotional beings. What most of us fail to understand, and what took me a decade of research to learn, is that vulnerability is the cradle of the emotions and experiences that we crave. Vulnerability is the birthplace of love, belonging, and joy. We know that vulnerability is the cornerstone of courage building, but we often fail to recognize that without vulnerability, there is no creativity or innovation. Why? Because there is nothing more uncertain than the creative process, and there is absolutely no innovation without failure. I want to repeat something back to you. To feel is to be vulnerable. Believing that vulnerability is weakness is believing that feeling is weakness. Vulnerability is the birthplace of love, belonging, and joy. So I wanted to share this with you today because so many of you say to me, I want to feel joy. I want to feel connected. I want to feel abundant. I want to feel full. I want to feel content. I want to feel peace. But yet, there's something missing. And vulnerability is a huge piece of that. And when we step into vulnerability, this is where we have to have hard, uncomfortable conversations with those that we love. And the second you make a decision and a conviction and a commitment in yourself to say, I am living this life. I'm going to do it. I am living my best life for me and not for anybody else. The second you say that, you've declared to the universe that change is going to happen. And that's exactly what life will give you. You need to be able to sit and be courageous and sit with the discomfort of what is going to be thrown at you. When you've been in this ecosystem of energy and then all of a sudden you pluck yourself out and you say, not this. Nope, I'm not going to do this anymore. Nope, I'm going to feel respected now. Nope, I'm going to take time for myself. I'm going to hold energetic boundaries. What happens is people don't know how to respect you because we teach people how to treat us. I've noticed this in my own life. Every time I declare something and say, hey, I'm going to do this to myself, I see shifts around me. I see people coming closer to me. I see people moving further away from me. And vulnerability is coming back to myself and being committed to myself and not being committed to who the world wants me to be. Who do you want to be? And how do you want to feel? Who do you want to be? And how do you want to feel? We will always lie to ourselves and use an excuse and say, I can't. Heather, I can't do that because of the money, because of the time, because of the energy. Oh, because my kids, it's raining now. I can't do that. Oh, the sun, it's just not exactly where it needs to be in the sky today, so I just can't. You will always find an excuse. Your brain, right? This organ that is so dinosaur, the evolution of who you are, you need to be courageous and vulnerable and say, I'm taking a stand for how I want to feel in my life. So I'm going to tell you a story about this mastermind that I joined, and we'll see where that conversation goes. But before I do that, I've been getting a lot of requests from the the time and energy intensive that I'm hosting. And a lot of people are asking me, what's the difference between that and mastery? And so I've decided to host a free training for you to dive a little bit deeper. One is to give you tremendous value so that you can implement some of these strategies into your life so you can do it hands-on rather than just passively listening to me on the podcast. So you can register for this free training over at heatherchauvin.com/energy. We'll also have it up on the website. So you just go to my website and you'll see it there at the very top. There'll be like a little black bar at the top of my website, and it will just say, it says, Finish Your Year Energized, free training. And you can just register there. It's 100% free. So my intention for this is to help you really understand this process of, why do we need this? What am I teaching you? And help you, so bring your pen and paper, help you kind of get some clarity on where are the energy leaks in my life? Why do I not feel energized? Why do I feel like I don't have enough time? And what specific actions can I take now to start shifting that? And then at the end of that training, I will be talking about the time and energy intensive. So of course, if you want to hear more about that, you can hang on until the end. So check it out. It's this Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So go to my website at heatherchauvin.com, check the top of my website, or go to heatherchauvin.com/energy, and you can still register for it. I will be sending out a replay if you can't make it live, but it's going to be more tactical, hands-on, workshop-y stuff. And I'll also have an accompanying PDF so you can, check out the information that I'm talking about. So yeah, we got that. Okay. So the Austin retreat. I'm a huge I don't even want to call myself a personal development junkie because I feel like when people call themselves that, they don't actually implement the information. I value personal development over a lot of things in my life. I will invest more in myself and in my family and in education, that and experiences. So education and experiences are really, really important to me. I would do that over buying a new car or making sure that, my kids had all the latest and greatest bullshit, crappy toys that are going to be thrown out in a month. So education and experience are really, really important to me. And as I reflect on where I've come in the last, it's been about 8-9 years since since I started investing in myself and really doing the work, I've come full circle, and it's blows my mind how I've changed as a human being. And of course, this has affected my parenting greatly, my marriage, my money, my time, my energy, just my overall happiness, my health, of course. I cannot stress enough, ladies and gentlemen, that investing in yourself is the greatest gift you can give to the world. It is the greatest gift you will ever give to your children. Before, I would never say that because I was always just terrified to be like, oh, invest in yourself, thinking that means invest in a program that I'm teaching you. 100% it does not. I am clearly not the only coach or person that teaches things out into the world. And I'm just inviting you right now that if you feel called to do something in your life, whether it's, regarding food or personal training, or you want to even run a race or do a workshop or something, I'm telling you right now, investing in yourself, money, time, and energy is the greatest gift you will give to the world. And also, if it scares the shit out of you and you want to vomit and crap your pants at the same time, that's also a good sign that you're headed in the right direction. So back in August, I registered for this, and I'll talk more about her in the future, but right now I'm just going to talk about the general program. So back in August, I invested in this year-long mastermind. It was a business mastermind with this mentor that I've been following for 5 years. And I just love this human being because, as you know, I'm a huge advocate of relationships and being authentic. And I believe that there's a lot of bullshit and smoke screens out there of like how to make $1 million over the weekend or how to write a book in 10 minutes. Quite frankly, it's bullshit, and people buy into it, and then they become angry and resentful, and then screw up the system. So this was a really big investment. It cost me $20,000 to join, and then I have to travel 3 times. So at the end of the day, it's going to cost me about $25,000. And this is just a mastermind. There's also other people that I need to hire and support. So this year alone in coaches, I will probably invest about $30,000 to $40,000. Okay. So I'm surprised I'm even saying this out loud, but of course, I'm going to be honest and open with you guys. If you would have said that to me 8 years ago, like, Heather, 8 years from now, you're going to be investing $40,000 in yourself, just in personal development, in 1 year, I would have told you that you were crazy, because that's what I was making in 1 year. And money is energy. Money is just energy. That's all it is. And a lot of people, we have so many money stories about, oh gosh, I can't have $1 on my credit card because then I'm in debt, or I can't, all of these weird things. And I remember in times in my earlier days in my business, my credit card was maxed out. It was a $20,000 credit card, and it was maxed out. Okay. Yeah. Cool. This is vulnerability. I'm just telling you the truth. And now my business is not in debt. I have no business debt. But it's, I don't understand how people can go to post-secondary education and walk out hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt sometime, or $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 in debt, $60,000 in debt. I don't know. And walk out and be okay with that. But when it comes to investing in ourselves and becoming better and doing the work from the inside out, you start to get tripped up and you're like, oh gosh, I could never do that. We have to look, and it's because it's socially acceptable. It's socially acceptable to be in post-secondary education debt and to actually carry that for years and years and years. I still have friends who have debt from the same program, the social work, BSW program that we took together at the university. And I'm not in debt and they are. And the reason is because I just chose to take a more mindful path, and it's not just because of my coaching business. It's about investments and things like that. So you really have to start looking at yourself and saying, who do I want to be? How do I want to feel in my life? And knowing that you're going to have to take an unconventional approach to achieve your goals. So I jumped into this mastermind and I wanted to shit my pants. I wanted to vomit. So I'm like, oh, good. Magic is going to happen. And since then, I've connected with some absolutely amazing, amazing people who have up-leveled my life already. And I just got back from Austin from the retreat. And, there's about 20 of us there. And just surrounding myself with like-minded women and men who are where I'm at or above, and some were, a few steps behind me. But surrounding yourself with people who can, who are where you want to be, whether it's, and I'm not saying just in business, I'm saying, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, right? We can all learn from one another. There is magic in that, and you cannot put a price tag on that. So I was checking into how I felt before I left for this mastermind. And we have a lot of things online, and, we have group calls and all of that fun stuff. But there's just some magic when you are getting together with people in like a face-to-face retreat experience. And before I left, I was like, okay, I'm just, going along, doing my thing. And, I felt great. But after, I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like somebody took a, what do you call it? What do you call those things? A power washer? Took a power washer and just hosed me down, and I lost like a layer of my skin. And in that moment, there is a place of vulnerability. And the vulnerability that I'm sitting with now is, holy shit, like, your goals are going to happen, Heather. When you surround yourself with people who have already achieved what you want to achieve, and they're like, oh yeah, that's easy. I could totally help you do that. Or yeah, just, connect with this person, connect with that person. You're like, holy fuck. And what I find with so many people, especially women, especially mothers, because our cultural epidemic is you need to be exhausted, you need to die, you need to have no time for yourself, you need to be busy. And you're living the counterintuitive lifestyle, and you're like, I'm full, I'm energized. Yeah, my kids sometimes don't sleep through the night, but I can get myself back on track. Or yes, my children still have tantrums, or they, tell me they hate me, or, life throws curveballs at me. So how come energetically I feel different than most people? It's not that I have some magic secret, it's that I'm practicing what I preach, and that is where the magic happens. But vulnerability is to feel. And through this process, you feel the joy, you feel the excitement, you feel the vomit rising in your mouth, you feel the shit that's going to come out of in your pants. You feel the anxiety and you feel the fear, and you do it anyways. So people always ask me, why don't I have what I want? And I say, because you're not committed. You're not in this conviction state of this deep desire to achieve what you want to achieve. You have to be willing to do the uncomfortable to get to where you want. Now, typically when I say that, people think #hustle. I'm just going to hustle, and that's the uncomfortable work. Fuck no. Doing the uncomfortable work might actually be taking a break. Doing the uncomfortable work might actually be putting your phone away. Doing the uncomfortable work might actually be having a really hard conversation with a friend or a spouse or a team member or a colleague who you feel is putting you down. Doing the uncomfortable work is asking for help. Doing the uncomfortable work might be getting your hair done to feel better. That was something that was really uncomfortable for me because I was so used to putting myself last. So today I want to ask you, are you ready to lead your life, to take your power back, and to truly own who you want to be? So, on average, depending on when you're listening to this podcast, there's about 67 days, give or take, left of 2018. What did you tell yourself at the beginning of the year that you were going to complete? you were going to step into. 67 days left. How are you doing? Have you fallen off? Have you given up? And are you ready to step back in to who you want to become? Vulnerability. You got to feel. You have to feel it all. You have to feel the extreme discomfort that comes up. Guys, it's like opening that closet that you just kept packing shit into. You're like, oh, I'm going to avoid it. I'm not going to look at it. I'm going to put a smile on my face. And then all of a sudden you open this closet and all the shit's going to come out. You have to. Vulnerability is feeling all of that you've been avoiding. Because in there, that's where your joy is. Mixed in that closet, that's where your joy is. So don't be afraid to open it up, because I'm telling you, it's not going to kill you. It hasn't killed you yet. It's not going to kill you in the future. It's just an emotion. All you're doing is feeling it. Don't run away from the discomfort. Because I'm telling you, with the discomfort comes magic, comes abundance, comes clarity. You feel lighter. But with the light comes dark. You have to feel both. And you have to give yourself permission to feel the light and to go after the light and say, what brings me joy? So these are, big concepts. I understand that. And that is why I'm hosting the Finish Your Year Energized free training. So all you have to do is go to Heather Chauvin, last name spelled CHAUVIN.com/energy. It's a free webinar, free training online that I'll be doing this Friday. If you can make it live, awesome. If you can't, I'll send you the replay. I'm going to give you specific, tangible action steps. So whatever you're doing this Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, if you can create space for yourself, do it. If you know you're going to use an excuse, challenge yourself. If you're at work, that's A-okay. But say, where Friday night, maybe Saturday morning, can I create space to go through and watch the replay? You are the only person that can control the outcome of how you want to feel in your life, of how you want to feel in your relationship with your children, how you want to feel in your marriage if you're married, in other partnerships in your life, how you want to feel with your time, how you want to feel in relation to your energy. So all of these things, I'm going to give you some very practical strategies to do this. So head on over to heatherchauvin.com/energy. And today, just go out through your day and ask yourself, how do I want to feel? How do I want to feel? And are my actions in alignment? All right, ladies, talk soon. You got this.